Hello, welcome to another video on understanding insurance claims. Today we're going to be looking at the automobile policy and comparative negligence. In one of the other videos I did, we talked about contributory negligence. The negligence standard is set by the states so that they will know how to adjudicate particular, say, automobile accidents. In the old days, most states used contributory negligence, which basically meant that if you were at any degree at fault in an accident, you could not recover. Your percentage of negligence might be very minimal. It might be 1% or 5%. So typically, theoretically, you could not recover from the other parties because your negligence did contribute to the accident. You would find a lot of times that the juries would be sympathetic to a person whose negligence was very minimal in compared to someone else, and they still may award a judgment against the more responsible party, the one who had most of the negligence and henceforth the liability on their part. But that would be up to a jury to decide. But speaking theoretically, you could not collect if you were at any degree at fault. Comparative negligence is just the way that states have come in evolution of trying to determine what is fair. And some states have what we call pure comparative negligence, and some states modified. Some states say unless you're less than 50% negligent, you can't file a lawsuit against someone else. It's very subjective, but it is a way to help pinpoint and to help determine who is the most responsible as far as liability is concerned. You know, you can't have liability unless you at first are negligent. If you're negligent through things that you did or failure to do, then you are liable. But states still have to determine to what degree a person can be held liable. So you may find that it may be determined that you're 70% at fault in a claim where the total damages, property damage and damage for injury to people is $10,000. Well, if you're at 70% at fault, then you would have to pay 70%, or in this case $7,000 of the total damages. If the other party was 30% at fault, that meant simply that they could not collect for $3,000 or 30% of the damages because their negligence was 30%. Or translated to dollar amount, it would be $3,000. A lot of times you would see a person that may file a lawsuit because they think, okay, the other party is more liable than I am, and the other party would countersue. And so the person that filed the initial suit, maybe it was shown that they were 40% at fault and they collected 60% of their damages, and the person that countersued was able to offset that amount of recovery, and so that they would not pay more than what the other person's responsibility is. So this is just a way where the states have used to try to determine who is most negligent and assign the blame where it should be assigned. Again, it's very subjective, but it's still, I think, much better than the contributory negligence, because in most accidents, you're going to find that someone is a lot more negligent than someone else. So this is a way to help to balance or equalize various people's fault and consequently their liability in a claim. Later we'll be looking at some scenarios, just more or less theoretical scenarios, and this will give you a better idea as to how it is determined this person's negligence compared to someone else's and how it would affect their recovery. Hopefully this has been of some benefit to you, and I realize it's just a brief overview of comparative negligence, but it's just a way that the states have to determine who's at fault and to what degree they are at fault in an accident. Again, if you like the video, I ask you to hit the subscribe button and be looking for a lot more videos relative to automobile claims, whether it's property damage or injury claims, and help you to put the puzzle together when you're trying to understand insurance claims. Again, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.